Yo, what's going on YouTube? It's your boy Kai checking in with another video. And today we got a throwback. We got a Kevin Gates interview. We talked about society, stereotypes, and love. Let's get into the video.
Power 106, Ricky Martinez from Big Boys Neighborhood here with Kevin Gates. Kevin, I've been wanting to speak to you for a long time, just for the conversation that I see that you have with people. It's very, like I told you before, like refreshing to see someone kind of come in and want to talk. And I know that you said you're a bit of an introvert.
I ain't gonna say that I want to talk, but I'm gonna be as honest as possible.
Right.
When I do have conversations, I am a conversationalist.
Right.
In
And
the right setting.
That's appreciated.
Yeah, when I'm in the right setting, I'll say that. And I'm not really opinionated, and I'm not judgmental, so people they just feel free to. Everybody just tell me their problems. Everybody talk to me about everything because I have me having a master's in psychology. I have a confidentiality clause, so to say, with anybody that I deal with. So a lot of people tell me their deepest, darkest secrets.
And you make it easy for them to kind of open
Yeah,
up to
because
you.
because I tell them, I'm a great listener, but at the same time, I'm not a saint. I'm far from a saint.
Yeah,
That's definitely it. But see, the thing that I think that's what people appreciate about you the most is you're kind of like, this is me, good and bad, and people just
The
really
good, the bad, and the ugly.
It's
The
all
good
there.
gonna outweigh the bad and the ugly, but the bad and the ugly gonna be in there.
Now, one thing I do want to commend you on, and it's something that I personally fight with as well, just being a woman in radio, is like a perception that people may have of you. I feel like maybe some people could look at you or listen to your music and have a certain perception of you, and like that when it comes across, like, okay, this guy is really more than what.
Well, I could see why you'd say that because people don't try to be stereotypical, but society
Right.
is stereotypical. And based on my physical appearance, one would assume the complete opposite. You wouldn't look at me and assume, you wouldn't just be like Kevin Gates he looks very intelligent, but what is the description of intelligent? Because the game is played above the shoulders. No one walks around with their brain just on Front Street. You know what I'm saying? And that's the beauty of it to me.
One thing I can appreciate from you as well is the amount of music that we've been able to hear from you. The fact that you've actually let people kind of hear different sides of Kevin.
You want me to be honest, Ricky? I'm going to be honest. I say this in a lot of interviews, but I'm going to tell you this. The only reason that we are able to sit down and have a conversation like this face to face is because I'm allowed to make music. Music is therapeutic to me. I suffer from severe cases of depression. The last time I believe I was truly happy was in 2007. To be honest, and I'm not trying to give you no heartfelt story or nothing like that, but I love being in love.
Right.
And then as far as I lived illegitimately at one time. So a lot of the material things that a lot of people chase, I had acquired those things at one time before being incarcerated the time before last. I'd acquired a lot of those things, and those things don't get in the bed and hug you and hold you. Those
Make
things
you
don't
feel
play in
whole.
your hair. And those are the things that I love.
Yeah.
And right now, I would trade all of this to go back to that. I just wish that I could have stayed in the Matrix like Neo. Once he took that pill.
Nah, bro, that's a fact, bro. A lot of people don't understand. Like everybody walking these journeys, they everybody on their own path, right? And a lot of people don't understand. Like certain people paths be harder than others. Not comparing, you know what I mean? But a lot of people paths be harder than others. So when you have certain individuals around you, you don't take them for granted. Even if you make mistakes in your relationship, you don't take them for granted. And the people that you have around you, like significant others and shit like that, you can do them wrong, but you're not doing it with the intent of, oh, I'm doing this to be on some spiteful stuff or be on some like manipulative stuff. Like I'm just doing this because we was never taught the right way to go about things. We didn't have the upbringing that you had, so
It's like, you know what I'm saying?
That's so true.
How do you regain who you are? because everything is a trigger. You know, I don't even go watch a movie. I would love to go watch a movie at a theater, but if I'm not doing it with this person, I'm not gonna enjoy it.
Right.
I would love to go out to eat, but if I'm not doing it with this person, I wouldn't enjoy it. So my life, you know, it becomes consumed.
Nah, bro, I've been there multiple times, bro. And it's extremely hard when you live in the same city that, you know, you got your heart broken there. If you live in the same city, it's kind of, it'd be hard to, like, go in those same stomping grounds, even with new people. Because you creating memories, you know what I mean? These memories last forever. So, like he said, it should be a trigger. Like, you go to this area. And I ain't even saying you doing the same things. I'm saying, hey, you could just be in that area and shit just be a trigger. Like, damn, I remember when you was here with such and such. Or damn, I remember back in the day who I was here with. Or I remember when, you know, you had your heart fully complete. You know what I mean? That shit, yeah, it's a hurting feeling when you just be around certain environments. You be like, damn. And even if you build up something, like you around certain areas and you build back up that love and build back up that trust with a person and you start making new memories, it's just tough when you go back around them same environments and you built up everything back up, like you built your love back up, and it's like, damn. I only had a person that I built all this shit back up with.
Almost with depression,
Right.
and the only way to to release from that depression, my only release or form of release from that depression is recording, venting, making music.
Do you feel better after you record music?
For the moment,
Yeah.
but everything come right
yeah,
back.
and then it comes right back. I do gotta say though, like when we speak of these things and these materials, whether it be a car or a phone or nice shoes, these things that we are so fixated on, like that is what makes me happy. With our culture that's what our culture thinks right now.
I got a few vehicles, and I'll say this: every 10,000 miles, you better go get an oil change. If you can't afford the maintenance of the car, you can't afford the car.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of times the things that people are fixated on having, they don't want the responsibilities that come with that.
Right.
They don't understand, and people don't understand. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
It look good, but how I know when that person get up the block, they not crying, wonder how they gonna pay the car note or something.
Right.
You don't see the inner mechanics and the inner workings of,
Or they have a nice car, but how like well in like family life or home life are they?
No, I'm lonely. I ain't gonna lie.
Man, I know a lot of your music entails with girls and the whole aspect of a relationship. But the thing that I enjoy the most about your music is you kind of give a voice to, like okay, Drake can make music that guys can dedicate to a girl, but it's on its own level. You make music.
I know what you mean. This is what you mean. The amount of passion that I exhibit in the music, and also, I guess, being a street artist, being street oriented to an extent. And most of the times when you see people that fit my description, they're hard.
Mm-hmm.
They are trapped within the confines of masculinity.
Right.
They have to be tough guys all the time.
Society says
They don't exhibit the softer side. I understand that, and I understand, but I feel like this is okay for people that call themselves gangsters to be a gangster, but what's wrong with being a gentleman also?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? What's wrong with the woman that you love, you rub her feet? What's wrong with that? You know what I'm saying? 'Cause I don't like being around my homeboys all day. It does nothing
Right.
for me. My homeboys can't pick the bumps off my neck and, scratch my scalp
Right.
and, clean the dirt from under my fingernails. My homeboys can't do that, and I love being pampered. And I believe it stems from me and my mother not really having a relationship like that. My grandmother raised me. My mother, she needed affection, so she would leave her children to go and, seek what she thought was affection for the moment from other men or whatever. Man, I understand it now. I didn't then. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's where that stems from, me loving to be pampered.
Right.
I had that as a child, and it was abruptly taken away from me. So because it was abruptly taken away from me, I think I chased that. I pursued that.
Right.
Now, as far as the streets, it's really a beautiful story. It really kind of makes me seem heroic or anybody in my shoes, if you love something so much that
Right.
you would risk your freedom to make sure that this person had everything that their heart desired. You love this person so much that you would really die. You would go to war with God behind this person.
Right.
I think it's a beautiful situation because I don't know too many people that'll put their life on the line every day behind who they love. Because I know one thing, the people I love, they gonna live the same way they was living before rap, with or without rap. By any means, they gonna live the same way. And that's just me. That's my philosophy.
Right. Now, is that something you instill in your children as well?
Well, when I say children, when you say children, I've always had children since I was a child. One of my partners got life, and his daughter was 2. She for me. She for me now. She called me daddy. So I was a child raising a child. I try to impute wisdom and knowledge, but not through speaking, but through my actions. And I don't hide anything from them at all. I just, like I would tell my children, like I would tell anybody, if it's something that you're passionate about, do that. I promise, Ricky, whenever this gets boring, I'm going to stop doing it. I'm going to stop doing it, I promise.
I really think, though, that you're a voice that is needed. I feel like you're speaking for people that didn't even think they could be spoken for. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like you said, it's your passion. It's something that you wanted to express. I don't know if that necessarily goes away. Like, I feel like if it's true passion, it can.
Yeah, I don't feel like it ever go away because, like I say, I really love music. But you know what makes it not fun? When you pour your heart out and people go back and they analyze it and they dissect it and dissect it and dissect it when it was already beautiful.
Right.
Why not appreciate the art for what it was? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's like if I'm with somebody, I'm supposed to accept them flaws and all. If you gain 300 pounds, you hear me, I'm still supposed to accept you. If you my dog and your arm get cut off or your leg get cut off, you lose a foot, I'm supposed to still accept you for who you are.
Right.
When you look at a painting, you don't say, I think the artist should have did this with that line. You don't do that. So why I do that when I when I paint a depiction, you know, with words? I give a depiction, a word depiction. I painted a picture with words. Why would you do that?
Right.
So that's what takes the love out of it for me. When you say, yeah, but I think it would be like this because it would sell more. I'm not trying to sell.
So and so on the feature.
Yeah, I don't look at iTunes and pay attention to the top selling song because if I do, I'm going to allow myself to be influenced by that top selling song.
Right.
And I'm going to be making music that sounds like the top selling song. It just so happened that Supposed to Be in Love was my top selling song. But that was really me.
Yeah,
That's really my feelings. You know what I'm saying? It's illegal for to steal somebody's feelings and leave. It's illegal. And that's really how I feel. So it was a blessing because what artist gets to, their first single, it's just shout out to my team for believing in me, Atlantic Records and everything, BWA. But what artist ever gets to run their first single is a song that they're passionate about?
Yeah.
What artist? Name one.
That they didn't conform
Now,
for.
the only person that really, I'm a fan of that I think those songs may be her favorite songs is Taylor Swift. And the reason I love Taylor Swift so much is because I'm a reader.
Yeah.
I'm an avid reader. And one of my favorite books is The Notebook by Nicholas Sparks. So I believe Taylor Swift's song Mine would be the theme music to that book.
Notebook.
That's just me. It would be the theme music to that book.
Right.
She didn't talk about pulling up in a Bentley and a Ferrari or none of that. She was just, you remember we were sitting there by the water. You put your arm around me for the first time. And I just fell in love with that because it was so real. It was like, I never had a family. This is what I want.
Right.
I ain't gonna lie, to this day, I'm in the mall. I see two couples. They might be holding hands. I get jealous. I want that to be me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I
that
do.
meme
I
like
can't
this
help
could be us, but you play.
I can't help it, and it ain't like. And I live life at such an accelerated pace to where when other artists be like, man, I don't know what's wrong with him. Look, say just live your life. I done did that already.
But do you see how that's a blessing, especially in like where you're positioned right now, and that it's a blessing that love motivates you? Rather than like, let me get that. Well, clearly.
I can't just say love because I'm passionate about what I do, but I kind of made a vow that I never be in another relationship again. And then when I try to run women off, like, we might have a conversation, I try to run a woman off, I tell them, look, I'm the realest cat you're going to ever meet in your life. She'll be like, yeah, why? Because I'm low down and rotten, but I got a good heart. And all we could do is be best friends. You fall in love, I'm going to mess your whole life up. I promise. Just being honest, you know what I'm saying?
Do you think you can't be in a relationship?
I don't think I would. I don't really think I would. People be like, you going to find you something better. I don't want nothing better. For what? I want that. You know what I'm saying? So that be kind of, I mean, that's part of the depression. I lost a brother, an older brother.
Hey, that shit, oh, man. That shit hit my soul. You'll find something better. I don't want nothing better. I want that.
Part of my depression.
Right.
Just me having a master's in psychology, I performed a psychoanalysis of myself. And that I suffer from unresolved grief. You know, I've been mistreated by individuals that's supposed to be family. You know, I make songs about that. Friends, people that you love, people that you'll die, go to war, kill behind. You know, it's a hurting feeling.
Yeah.
It's a hurting feeling when you're in a room full of people and you feel alone.
That's crazy.
It's a hurting feeling when you around society and when you speak, nobody really understands you because they so caught up into social media and they so caught up in the reality television. And
that
things
perception,
of that
I'm telling you, people perception's reality.
So it's difficult being around individuals when that's really what they care about.
Right.
They don't care about that. So it's refreshing to meet somebody who thinks like me. When I meet people that share similar interests, it's refreshing. It's beautiful. I can't be wrong because this person feel like me.
Right.
Yeah.
And see, that's what I'm telling you. That's why the music is so important, because you're unknowingly or knowingly you're putting out this music into the world, and someone who hadn't been their issues addressed, or they feel like, man, I'm alone within this room full of people.
Right.
Kevin Gates gets me.
Right.
He understands.
Yeah. I'm all the misunderstood people. That's who shout out.
But that's what makes that. I think those types of artists are the ones that kind of like have the, I don't even want to say cult following, but those people that listen and will ride or die for you, like those soldiers. Like I feel like it a lot with, like, I'm gonna bring Kid Cudi for example. When he first came out, he had a lot to do with depression.
That dude had the nicest mixtape in
right?
the game.
A kid named Cudi.
That dude had the nicest mixtape in the game. I don't know what happened with him, what he did, what made him stop. It was really a letdown. You know, it was really a letdown. And I don't even have no really favorite artist no more. My favorite artist right now gotta be Starlito.
Oh,
that gotta be my favorite artist. And me and him, and he know I'm a fan. He was with me last night. That's like my brother.
Man.
But everything he talk about, he really living, and I see him do it. And everything I talk about, he see me. We see each other do these things.
Right.
And I'm a fan because we have intelligent conversations. You know, he might tell me, hey, you need to read this, The Alchemist. I might tell him you need to read that James Redfield, Celestine Prophecies. You know, we swap it out like that. You know, it's just, you know, who would have ever thought that street cats, you know,
have those conversations.
Would be members of a book club, but I really hang in Barnes and Nobles and drink coffee. And
that's
it's crazy.
Good, though.
I done met a lot of women in the industry, celebrities in there. I'm talking about not knowing who I was, just to see me and what are you reading? And you wouldn't know if I told you. You know, and she'll be like, what? I'll be like, it's not a novel. You know what I'm saying? Well, what is that? It's called The Naked Ape. You ever heard of The Naked Ape? You ever heard of, you know, it's just different.
Not even you saying Celestine Prophecy. I always bring that up, and everyone's
book
like,
changed my life.
Yeah, the energy field and everything.
Yeah, that book changed my life.
And see, the thing is, like,
And the thing about the book that changed my life was I already had those insights unknowingly.
Yeah.
I already had those insights unknowingly. That's like when people tell me, man, you got to read the 40 Laws of Power. I read that when I was 13. I ain't got time to, really like 14 or 15. Yeah. I ain't got time to be playing mental gymnastics with nobody. I don't get a kick out of manipulating people, playing on people's psyche. I don't know for what. I ain't got time.
What led you to pursue your education and especially your majoring in psychology?
No, it wasn't like that. I've always excelled academically in any setting, in an institutional setting that I've been in. And when I say institution, school, jail and the army are 3 just institutions.
Right.
That's all they are. They prepare you to go work for someone. They don't teach anyone how to exhibit entrepreneurship. They teach you how to follow a guideline, live in a box. No disrespect to people that's in college or whatever, but
Right.
most individuals that I speak with, I converse with, they use school as a security blanket. My dream has always been to attend a university. I've got all of the things that I've acquired in prison. I've just always had a thirst for knowledge. I've loved to learn. You know, at 16, 31 on the ACT. I don't know too many people doing that at 16. You know,
Yeah.
so when for a professor to say he's ADD, no, I'm not. But I get bored fast.
Right.
Things become redundant to me, and I hate that. I hate redundancy. I just hate it. You know, I'm not progressing. I'm not growing, and that's when I get
What am
I
I
lose
doing?
interest.
Yeah.
What am I even doing here? You know, I lose interest fast.
One thing I had checked an interview with you, and you kind of spoke about the work ethic that you saw Wayne have, and you were
Yeah.
just kind of like, this is why he's here, and this is where I can be.
Yeah,
'Cause-
I watched him every night come in the studio like he ain't have a dollar in his pocket. Come in the studio like he ain't have a dollar to his name. He was in that studio every night recording. Does he suffer from what I suffer with? I don't know, because we haven't had those kind of conversations.
Right.
And most people won't even come out and say the things that I say anyway. The
Right.
things that I'm open about, most people are afraid to even
Yeah.
say. So we've never had those conversations, but I've seen the way that he works. I've seen his work ethic, and I salute that. I commend him on that. As far as Birdman, I commend him on staying true to himself. When he was like, I've been doing this 20 years. And I was like, that's what I want for myself. I want to get it out the mud. I don't want no handouts. Yeah, I don't want no handouts. I don't want nobody to say, man, Kevin Gates did a song with such and such, such and such, such. No, Kevin Gates makes great music.
Yeah.
We appreciate Kevin Gates in his entirety. We don't have to listen at a CD. We can just listen at him speak. We don't have to just listen at him speak. We can just look at him if we want to.
Right.
You know, the energy that he, you know, his demeanor, the way he carries himself. So, you know, my presence is my protection. I tell people that all the time. Just being in my presence, you know, is an experience. Because I'm not saying I'm different, but, you know, it's different.
See, no, but that's true. That's the everlasting element of it, because you got to think, like, what do people love about Pac? Not just his music, and people might not even like his music, but the way he spoke, the passion with what he speaks. Kanye is very passionate when he speaks, and his interviews you watch, whether you think he's crazy, or you think he's off or whatever.
I get it.
And he says it, like, there's certain people that are born and raised to get me, and there's certain people that are born and raised to just not understand me at all.
I get it. And I really don't take that approach. I really don't take that approach as far as really being that individual. I might have to play mental gymnastics before I just open up with you, because I got to see where you at psychologically before I get to telling, because everybody not going to be able to grasp on to the concepts in which I impute. They're not at all. So, and sometimes you can be offensive.
Right.
You know, so I have a fear of being offensive to people.
Right.
And when I say offensive, the fear intentionally offensive. And if I say something, I speak my mind, and you don't like it, that's just on you.
Right.
But if just going out of my way to be intentionally offensive, if I know that this is hurtful, I stay away from that. That's just me.
Yeah, but see, I bring that up to say that you, in seeing your interviews, you can tell that that's the type of person you want to see speak more. You want to see win, because you understand the voice is important. Like, I truly do support you, and like, this is our first time meeting, but I champion your shit out here.
I really appreciate that.
And I wouldn't
have thought that when I met you in the hallway.
See that, but it's perception. It's you don't.
It ain't that. I don't really have no perception. I don't go nowhere with anything preconceived. It just, I engulf myself in whatever moment I'm in. I have to, because my mind will go everywhere.
Right.
So I gotta I'm doing this right now. Now the next hour, I don't know what, but this right now, this is what I'm doing. So I'm gonna put everything into this. I'm gonna give it my everything.
That's dope, Kevin, man. I definitely, I can't wait to see how far you go and how much you shine, and I really
What's meant to be will be. I mean, I don't have no expectations.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm not saying people shouldn't. It doesn't sit well with me having expectations because I just kind of seem like I be setting myself up for disappointment.
Right.
So I just go with the flow, and whatever moment it is, I'm gonna try to enjoy myself in that moment. But as far as what's gonna happen tomorrow, things
It'll
never
come
go.
when it comes, yeah.
Things never go the way we plan anyway.
That's true. Well, thank you, Kevin Gates, for stopping by the neighborhood. It was very.
It was refreshing.
Yes.
It was enlightening.
To sit with you. Like always, I'm sure you get that a lot. So, Pat.
I don't.
You're a great spirit and you're a great mind. So
thank you
so much.
Kevin.
Power 106, Big Boys Neighborhood.
Timberland, best thing.